All right. Crash Landing on You, episode 2. Wow, it's already been so long, like over 2.5 hours. For some reason, K dramas are longer than an hour, which is fine, I guess. So let's jump right into it. We got where we left off, them staring romantically into each other's eyes. Well, one of them staring romantically into the other's eye while the other one contemplates what the fuck to do. I swear, he is always, throughout this whole episode, throughout this whole episode, he has the same expression on his face of what the fuck is happening. I'll just give you a sneak peek. This is basically what's on his face. This is basically it throughout the whole episode. It's fucking great. So first of all, they just dodged the coppers with Captain Ree and Seri here. So she's like, "Oh wow, you saved me. Cool. Is this your place?" And I'm like, "There is no way, no way in hell that's his place, or that he even lives there. Come on, no fucking way." Yeah, yeah. Of course I was wrong. What? I mean, come on. So for some reason, he takes her into his house and, you know, lets her sleep, whatever, takes care of her for the night. Allah lets her sleep. She hasn't slept in 2 days, apparently, even though Mrs. Invincible, I mean, has only been on the run for like 8 hours. So that's just how women tell time, I guess. It's fine. So after that, though, after she wakes up and everything, Captain Ree prepares food for her, prepares a breakfast. And here we have a scene where he prepares her breakfast, and of course he's looking like man meat over there, but he only prepares for her. Apparently he doesn't need to eat either. Got some great genes there. But she tells him, in Korea, we have. Oh, sorry. In South Korea, we have this special tradition where the guests feed the first bite to the homeowner. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's like, no poison. None. And then takes it away from her. Straight up. She doesn't even get to eat it. He's like, nope, no poison. Take that shit away from me. And he takes it and it disappears. I guess they didn't get to eat. And then right after, all of his comrades, Comrade C, Comrade S, and Comrade T, or whatever their names are, of the Cuckoo clan, show up at his door just randomly. Just randomly. So they see Seri's there and Captain Rich Bish over here, which he lives in a great location apparently in North Korea, one of the best. I just can't imagine this being a real house in North Korea. It's spacious. It has the whole 9 yards. Fuck. But anyway, so they see her and everything. So they have a little meeting with the negotiator, where Seri basically spells out, "Hey, if you don't help me get back to South Korea, all you fuckers gonna get in trouble. All you dudes, no jobbo, and deatho," is basically what she says to them constant. I mean, every single sentence is the same. She's like, "Oh yeah, you dead." And meanwhile, it's great. The only thing we're thinking is, well, I mean, Captain Ree's just staying silent. This is what he's like. Straight up. He's just sitting there. He's like, the audacity of this biatch. And then I'm like, the only thing I am thinking throughout this whole exchange of her being a total bitch to them, but making sense, mind you, they would get court-martialed and killed, is, did you notice he has a watch? How rich is this dude? Do they have watches in Korea? Because none of his comrades do. All of his comrades had to wear their normal getup, but he gets a nice shirt that looks comfortable, shows off all his muscular body. But yeah, he has a watch, and I'm like, mind blown. They even have time in North Korea. It's a miracle. So after this, though, they have a whole bat, and they're like, shit, we do gotta help her, or we're pretty much dead. Which we all know that. That's what would happen. So they're like, okay, they're devising a plan about, let's help her in some way. But first we gotta eat, since she hasn't eaten lunch. It's been apparently hours. So she needs to eat. Hasn't eaten, 2 whole days? So they have a nice scene about this younger gentleman on the right of the Cuckoo Clan. He's really into K-dramas. But since they live in North Korea, they don't have any of the new K-dramas. So he's watching K-dramas from 10 years ago, which is pretty cool to see. He's fanboying over a few, and she's like, oh yeah, I know that actress, and I can get you an autograph. And he's like, can you? I'm like, yeah, let me mail it to you, bro. What? What is you? That's a North Korean soldier right there. But you know, it is very entertaining to say the least. But then, so Fanboy is looking at this cooking mechanism Captain Rish Bish has, and he's like, wow, man. In my town, we don't even have these. We still use the old Boy Scout maneuver, you know? The Boy Scout maneuver, 2 sticks, make fire. No. Captain Rish Bish over here. He has, I don't even remember the name of that. I want to say, like, baguette or baguette, maybe, but I'm pretty sure baguette is, like, a French pastry. But anyway, so he's cooking it, you know, because he gets to use that, and he's straight up. He looks Fanboy in the eye, and he's like, don't worry. Your town will be modernized soon too. And I'm like, modernized? I don't even know what that Stone Age technology is. Like, and of course, Seri over here is the first to point out. She's like, look, she's pointing too. She's like, just wait, you think that's modern? Bro, you should see my 10 Master Chefs Gordon Ramsay style kitchen with 100 acres of cooking utensils. Like, not everyone's a gazillionaire, I guess, in this, and she is just so far out of reality. Nonetheless, it was funny. Because I seriously didn't even know what that was. It was funny though. And so after that, you know, they get sent on their usual office, and she has to stay home. He has even a phone in his, a landline, mind you, a landline in his house to call him, and he's like, 5 only. That is it. That get office. That's it. And she's like, okay. And so she's being the typical, woman. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. You know, ring-a-ding-ding-ding-dong, ring-a-ding-dong-ding, and ring-ding-dong-ding-dong, okay? every 3 milliseconds. Hey, bath? Hey, candle? Lotion? Shampoo? Soap? And he's just like, bro, what did I get into? What am I doing? And he's just like contemplating suicide with that look. Okay. Still looking great, but in pain. Okay? In pain. So after that, there's this whole thing about him getting sent to the capital of North Korea, Pyongyang, which is in like the same day. So he must be pretty close to Pyongyang, even though, like, on the map, I don't know how you would travel there so fast. I guess, maybe you could by car. I guess, yeah, he does take a train, so I guess a few hours probably. I mean, in America, we don't really have trains, so. But yeah, so he travels up to Pyongyang, and right when he gets there, he's stopped, and he's like bagged, man. 2 Korean officers are like, get him. He's ill. Grab that fucker, drag him up. He doesn't know what's happening, but he's just like, whatever, it's better than the ding dong ditch game, So he sits down in the interrogation, and I don't exactly know why they're interrogating him yet. I think they think he's. Well, they were trying to frame him for something. I don't want to spoil that because it is part of the story. So they're trying to frame him, and he's just like sitting there in the chair, like, bro, what is this? You're just wasting my time. And one of like, so a general or something, or colonel, or probably general, I think was interrogating, just the usual blah blah blah. We don't need evidence. That's basically what he says. And then one of like the colonels, high up people, comes in there, looks through the glass and is like, get him out of there. Quick, save him. Save Captain Rish Bish. Please, God. So they drag his ass out at light speed. And I'm like, okay, so he must be influential or something. Something must be wrong. And the next scene is the high up member of the military, colonel, I think, like scolding the general. Hey, you don't do that. He's the son of some very, very high up government official, very high up head of one of the departments. General Security Department, I think. And we're like, so he's perfect looking. He has the perfect job. He even has like meat and shit. He even gets food, like in Korea. And I'm like, that's weird. He has a watch. That's super weird. What the heck? No, it's because he's Captain Rich Bitch. He literally is made of money. His father has paid for everything. He owns a house, real estate, which, in North Korea, but still, he gets all of his food, everything, meat even, everything. And I'm like, this is super odd. But then we figure out, wow, okay, he's Mr. Moneybags over here. So he gets taken care of, has a brief exchange with his father, actually, that we don't learn almost anything about, save for he's investigating the disappearance of his brother, or the murder. He suspected his murder. His brother gets. But that's about it. And then he goes on a tyrant in a very, very nice scene where he's doing some shopping. And can't really see from this, but actually you can. You can see some candles, maybe some fragrance mists, as some females would put it, some parfum, whatever you put on your hands, some moisturizer, or lotion, as some fancy people put it. And you can see just the confusion. This is the best. What's happening here? What is this? He sits there just contemplating why he's here. He made a terrible, terrible mistake. And nonetheless, after all that confusion, which lasts throughout the whole scene, the lady finally steps in, the merchant lady, and is like, what are you looking for? And, he's like, oh, well, things. And she goes straight like, oh, this is a candle, fragrance, blah, 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 feminine stuff, I don't know. And then turns around and is like, you want to see something real cool, military personnel? And just flips up a cloth. And it's like, all of these products are from the South. Don't tell anybody, you official, you military boy over there. Just don't tell anybody, and it's yours. And so she starts listing a bunch of Korean products, skincare, a bunch of them. And he's like, I'll take them all. Because, like I said, confusion. Charizard has been confused and hurt itself, but it doesn't hurt his wallets. Still plenty there. So he then is like, oh shit, she has boobies, so she's gonna need armor for them. Since she's a track star, apparently, she could use some. So, for purposes that are apparent. So the lady, of course, that's selling all this stuff for feminine products, just walks 2 steps, pulls up another black carpet and is like, hey, I also have all this stuff from the South too. Designer. And it's just a bunch of booby armor and underwear and lingerie and crap. And he's like, and again, he's like, what is this? And she asks him, what size? And he's like, all of it, fuck it, all of it. And so it's pretty entertaining. He, comes back at night and has bags full of stuff. Just 3 of them, I'm pretty sure, and sits down Seri and is like, I'm going away. I may not see you until after you're in Korea, so we will never see each other again. But, he doesn't actually say this, but he's like, but, I love you. Bye. Have this. And so, she just has a bunch of, crap, and she, ding dong ditch, oh, I need candle, soap, shampoo. It's all there, the whole 9 yards. And the first thing she does, pulls out that candle, and it's like a big candle, it's like this big. Maybe it's just white cylinder candle. She's like, but this no scented. It's not scented. How do I take bath without a scented candle? And he's like, of course, I messed up. But anyway, so he leaves, and then the military people, for really no reason, well, I guess they would in Korea. I'm sure they do in North Korea. Do random house inspections, which turns out to be pretty funny in some instance. They start with some woman that bought a black market rice cooker because it's from the South. It was, thrown in here. And she's like, no, I don't have a rice cooker that speaks to me. No, I don't. I use the old-fashioned way. And then it goes off, of course, in the same scene, and the military lady that's doing the inspection is like, it makes good sticky rice, you say? And she's like, oh, the best, yes. Yes, you come back and you have plenty sticky rice. Plenty. And she's like, nothing here. Then the next one is someone who is actually cheating on his wife. His wife's gone and he's lonely, and so they catch him cheating, with another girl. So they're like, shame, publicly shame him. We'll pull him to the square. We'll publicly shame him out there too. Which I'm sure would happen. That's very realistic in North Korea. I bet you would. I bet they'd beat the shit out of you. Good for her. She's gonna pimp slap him into oblivion. Put on my 5 rings for this one. And so they look at the list after that second one and they're like, oh, it's Captain Rishbish's house. Well, no one's there. So let's just skip it. And then they look, but wait, why is there lights on? There are lights on there. Why would they not tell Seri that she needs to fucking make it look like no one is there? Why? She's just like, she's making tea. She gets into Captain Rishbish has a library, a whole freaking just a whole room full of books, and there's piano music and stuff, so I'm sure that'll come into play with him wooing her at some point, some Beethoven, Bach, something. He's gonna whip it out, it's happening. And so she's like, she hears them and she's like, uh-oh, I better hide. And she goes, disappears, of course, and we know where she is. We're not stupid because of earlier in the episode. But, the military people walk in and they're like, check everything. Because for some odd reason, the military general that's stationed there is really envious of Captain Rishbish or something. Maybe because he gets more meat than them or something, or maybe he has a watch and he doesn't. Maybe, I don't know. But he's like, check everything. We will ransack this. And the Cuckoo Clan actually calls up Captain Rishbich's cell phone. Yes, he has a cell phone. And I'm like, this dude is the 1% of the 1% of the 1% in Korea. In North Korea. Sorry, that's poor in South Korea, I'm sure. But it's still cool to see. You never really think about that. But I'm sure someone that high would be living a pretty okay life. And pretty okay by his standards, not ours, I guess. But hey, so they call him up on his cell phone and they're like, hey, random inspections are happening at houses. Better get here. And Captain Rishbich is talking to his father or something, and he's like, I borrow your car, please. And Captain Rishbich's father is like, go for it. Love will not stand in the way of anything. He doesn't actually say that, no. They're not in love yet, but they are. Secretly. So he's zooming down the street, and they don't have any lights or anything in North Korea. It's all just officers, which it's basically, you only need those in North Pyongyang, basically. I don't know of any other big cities in North Korea, but so he's zooming and nuts to butts. Everyone is getting out of his way, and I'm like, why the fuck is everyone getting out? How does people know he's the main character? I'm sitting there huh? But they do explain, apparently, the license plate 729 at the beginning means high-ranking bitch, get out of the way. Do not stop. Ever. So 729 gets to do whatever the fuck they want. I'm sure the Uns are part of that exclusive group. They're probably 729.1111 or something like that. Or whatever their favorite number is, whatever. So he's like going a jillion miles per hour. And yeah, I was like, this is a show, a K drama that's centered around North Korea. Now, there is a storyline in South Korea with her other relatives and everything we can get into later, but like, we're probably not going to have that cargasm scene where it's just car sex. In Korean shows, they just fucking love expensive cars. And they all look sexy as fuck, I will say. And freaking Secretary Kim, man, he always pulled up to her house in that gorgeous car. And he's like, hey, check my ride out. I own it. Like, straight up, they love those scenes. And they could not resist throwing one in, even when in North Korea. You know, he's a high-ranking official, so I guess maybe they have nice cars. I don't know, but, like, I wouldn't... Look, he shows up with that car. Like, that looks like a brand new 2020, like, freaking gangsterlicious Korean, like, sports car. And he's rolling up in his hood like, I own you guys. What's up? So, they do eventually, while they're doing the search, find her in the kimchi cellar, which is where it's a cellar full of kimchi, and they ferment in there, and so, you know, it's basically a hole in the ground that's covered by a door. They had a funny interaction with Fanboy and Seri, which was pretty funny, but they find her, and I was like, who is this girl? We ask questions first, shoot later. I thought it would be the other way around, but okay. I thought they would just fucking shoot her, but this isn't. This is more diplomatic than I thought they were, so I guess that's good. So they find her, and they're like, yo, what are you doing here, bro? You look a lot more colorful than all the other people here. And, like, you have hygiene products that you're not allowed to have, bro. Also, this is North Korea, and you're probably gonna die. And so, you know, Captain Rishbish, on a gallant horse, a la that sexy ass car, pulls up and is like, what are you doing here? Why is your gun pointed at her? Why is your gun pointed at my fiance? And it's like, he said it. Episode 2? Like, it's way faster, man. It's way faster than any other K-drama. I love this. They're already engaged, apparently. You know, he did say that just, you know, to save her, but, like, it's still funny as shit. My fiance. Because we all know, yeah, they're going to be engaged. So, yeah. And then it ends in some sexy-ass music, romantic as shit. I'm like, nice. All in all, a pretty good episode. I mean, it's getting me hooked, so I'm ready for episode 3 already. So I am good to go. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.